This is the first video of the Napoleonic Battle of Friedland, which is, I believe, just in the Russian border. This is the battle after Eylau, when the Russians were retreating and noticed Land's corps was on the other side of Friedland and appeared to be isolated from the rest of Napoleon's army. So Benning, is it Bennington or Benningsen? I can't remember now, one of the two. The general of the Russian army decided to attack Lannes and defeat him before Napoleon could come up. So we have Lannes here. He's got some cavalry, but not very much. And we've got cavalry units that are coming up to his assistance, but no infantry for a while. Napoleon's army will be coming up this pike from the west. So here are here are the Russians in green. Now, Lannes has 3 batteries along this ridge, and he has a stream in front. And you might think that's a pretty strong position. This is high ground. And if he set these forces behind him up on that position, it would be pretty strong and able to hold back the Russians, but that would be false, because the Russians have a significant preponderance of artillery they can bring up. So they would basically blow them off that ridge, and they have a lot of cavalry they can bring up, which again, they could bring across that bridge at 3 different points, and there's no way that Lannes could stand up to that. So basically, what he has to do is retreat off of this ridge and go into these woods. And not the first hex of the woods, but the second hex, and set up a defensive line. Now what that'll do is it'll negate the enemy artillery, because the artillery would have to go into the woods and set up right in front of the French, which would be the French line, which would be comprised of both artillery and infantry in line. So it would take some pretty heavy fire. And although well, I don't know. I was going to say, although the Russians have some horse artillery, I can't see any now. Looks like it's all foot artillery, which is worse for them. Because with foot artillery, you cannot move and fire. So the Russians would have to move into position, and they would not get to fire until next turn. But in moving into position next to the French, they would lose all of their movement just by moving next to the French. And so they would have to wait until next turn to unlimber, and then the next turn to fire. So they would get blasted away by the French for like 2 or 3 turns and take really heavy casualties. The other advantage in going into the woods is that if the Russians wanted to make a cavalry charge against them, they would have to go into the woods themselves and thereby be disordered. So although they would be tripled by the charge, they would be halved by going into the woods. So the Lan has to move his infantry and artillery into these woods as soon as possible, and then he has to mass his cavalry in the north, hidden from the Russians because they have several artillery batteries, although they are foot batteries. They still have them, and the French, I think, have one horse battery. So anyway, that's kind of the general outlines of the battle, and we'll see how they play out. So there are 72 turns in this scenario. It starts on June 14th, 1807 at 6 a.m. Visibility is 60 hexes, which is probably all the way across the map unless some terrain intervenes. And everything, including movement, artillery fire, and musketry, is normal. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Okay, I've played this a while ago, a couple times, so I kind of know what to do. Now these infantry battalions are all in column, which is good. So this one I think will move. Oh, that's as far as it can move. Okay, this one will move up there. That's as far as he can move. Up. I didn't want to move him there. Move this guy up. Move this guy up here. Let's put the officers back here. And I'm going to get rid of the objectives. Oh, this guy's out of movement. No, I can't move. Okay. Now, this is a supply unit, so we'll start moving through the woods. This leader will go here. Okay, now we'll get the limber up the artillery and get them off this ridge. Get them on this pike. Okay, that's all the farther they can move. This cavalry will move up here. And these guys move out of the woods. Okay. Now these guys are sitting ducks out here in the open. So we're going to move up here in low ground. Now the question is, Lon's only got 3 batteries, so we're going to have to move the horse artillery down here with him. And we've got, look at all that, plus all that artillery. That's a lot of strength. So we are going to go through the woods here with these guys. Take shelter there. Whoop. Wish I knew why that happens every once in a while. Okay, we do have a bunch of cavalry coming up. Not too far away. So we'll continue advancing with them. I like this battle because it starts out fairly small, which is good. And kind of builds up, at least on the French side. Never played the Russians, so. But I think they crossed over the Al River with their whole army eventually. It's like at least 60,000 men. I think Napoleon altogether had about 80,000. I do wish I had more artillery, but Land's going to need it in the woods. These guys can always maneuver. And they aren't going to be decisive for a while anyway. get off the road here and let the horse artillery go. And of course it's going to help land, going to land's assistance as well. So he's going to have basically all the artillery, and that'll give him a fighting chance against what's going to attack him. Now we've got reinforcements coming already way on the edge of the map, and it's more cavalry, which is nice, but we need more infantry actually. One nice thing, they come in on a really good road. It's like a paved pike, so they make very good time. Okay, so you can see how far away they are. Oh, there's another brigade here. Oh, that's nice. Let's send it on its way. Okay, let's get back to the main part of the battle here. Okay, next phase. Oh, wants to save the battle. Let's save it as Friedland. Okay, Allied defensive fire. Oh, Jesus, he's got his artillery in place, so he's already firing at my cavalry running for the woods. 3, 6, 3. Jesus, 2. How many batteries do you have? They're all set up. 4. Wow. 3. Jesus, he has a lot. 2. I thought what I could see. 5. Jesus, he's killing those guys. 8. 6. He must have a dozen batteries up there. 10. Holy moly. I thought it was just what I could see. What's he got here? A battery there. 1, 2 batteries here, so 3 altogether. 4, 5, 6. Jesus. 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12. 13. 14. 14 just up there. Jeez, no wonder I don't want to engage him. 15, 16, 17. 18, 19, 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27, 28, 29. Boy. 30, 31, 32 batteries. And what's land got? 3, 4, 5. With 1 coming down the road. 6. So he's outnumbered in artillery 5-1. Mamma mia. Okay. Well, worse than I thought. French melee. We don't have any. Allied movement. Let's see what he's going to do. This is... Well, okay, here he comes. He's coming after my cavalry. Okay. What's he doing with his artillery? Going further north with it? Well, I definitely have to withdraw with my cavalry to this ridge over here, where I can be out of his artillery fire. Yeah, see, here he comes. Well, it's definitely going to be time to get the hell out of here. Okay. He's moving something, but it's out of my line of sight. French defensive fire. Don't have any. Allied offensive fire. Oh, here we go again. Oh no, looks like he's moving his artillery, which is good. It gives me a reprieve. Okay, French movement. Well, we're going to get the hell out of here as quick as we can. Okay, we beat Cleats. No, sorry I can't give the cavalry that artillery battery, but I think Land's going to need it more. Okay, so where are we going to put it? Well, let's see. How are we going to work this? Now I'll generate a skirmisher, throw him in the village ahead here. Generate another skirmisher, throw him in that village. Generate a skirmisher, throw him in that one. See if I can generate a skirmisher. I can. I'll throw him in that one. Generate a skirmisher, throw him in that one. So he'll have to attack the skirmishers first in order to even gain that hex. Skirmisher, throw him in that one. Okay. That works out well. Let's put all my leaders together. Put the supply unit there. Okay. Now we may have to go up here to form some squares against his cavalry, which will be coming soon. Let's get this cavalry just beyond the ridge. And turn them around. Now, if he brings up his artillery on low ground here on the 5s, he won't be able to hit me. But if he brings his artillery up on the 6s or 7s, he will. In which case, I may have to move back in back of these. As soon as I see his artillery coming back here, I'll move back. Meanwhile, I'll be there to charge if he doesn't do that and tries to cross the stream. Okay, we've got to move this artillery back here. It's all the farther you can get. It's all the farther you can get. Okay, now this artillery. Okay, they'll go right there. Okay, these guys are going to have to deploy behind the crest of this high ground so that if he sets up artillery, it won't be able to fire at me. And as you can see, fortunately, there's all low ground here. So no matter where he sets up his artillery, he won't be able to shoot at me as long as I don't get, as long as I don't deploy on the edge of this high ground. So I'll deploy just behind it. What I actually need now, even more than infantry, is artillery. I don't think any's coming up anytime soon. And even if it is, it's a long ways away. This is probably the last battery I'll have for a while. Fortunately, it's going to take the Russians a while to deploy effectively against me. And each turn it takes them is a turn reinforcements get closer. Okay. Now we've got plenty of artillery up north, so we'll send it down south here. Okay, where's the rest of it? Way down here. See, no artillery with this cavalry division. Oh, come on. And let's see what I get for reinforcements. Ah, infantry. Okay. Big boys too, all over 600 men. Well, we'll be able to use them. And a battery, which is worth its weight in gold at this stage. And supply, which is good too. I only have one on the board. Okay. Let's see how we're doing time-wise. Oh, only 36 minutes. Gee, I thought more had passed. So about 20 after. Okay. All right. That is my move. So let's go on to Allied fire. Russian fire, I should say. None. Okay, means all of his batteries are in motion. I don't have any. That makes it easy. No melee. Movement, Allied, Russian movement. Okay, I don't know why they call it Ally. I think this is a Russian army. Okay, here he comes, headed straight for that river. Yep, everybody's making a beeline. But like I said, it'll be a couple more turns before he can set up for an attack. So well, you might hear some booms in the background. It's the 4th of July today. And although fireworks are supposed to be illegal, everyone buys them and keeps shooting them off. I don't know if I'm going to get away with all those guys. French defensive fire. Don't have any. Allied or Russian, he doesn't have any. He doesn't have any melee, so it's my movement. Now I lost sight of a lot of guys, mainly because I'm retreating, and so I can't see those hexes anymore. Okay, so what do we got here? It's Get these leaders out of the way. He doesn't have any artillery in range yet, so I can stay on this cow path for a while. I've got to deploy as quickly as possible. He's rushing at me at breakneck speed. Okay, with these guys, I'm going to go this way and hide behind this higher ground. Let's see how many of these guys can make it. One of them may get clipped. We'll see. Okay, that's all he can do there. Let me move these guys in back here, so then I'll concentrate on Land's position. These guys are a ways back. Okay, let's see if I get any reinforcements. No, not this turn. Okay. Let's turn to this hill. Okay. So now we'll start deploying in line. Straighten up this guy. Let's get this leader out of here. Okay, now let's move the artillery up. Gotta beat cleats out of here. They're almost upon us. This guy will go up here. He'll go up there. Boy, I've got barely enough guys to form this line. Let's see. I better leave him there for the moment. I'll put him in line. I'll have to see what the cavalry threat is. These two guys plus this guy here are probably going to form squares across here so he doesn't attack my rear. I do believe that's all I can do. I haven't left any units behind. Okay. Well, Russian fire, none. French fire, none. Melee, none. Russian movement. Okay. Let's see what there is to see. Yeah, he has quite a ways to come with some of those units. And here comes his artillery, or his cavalry. Wow, he's got a lot of them. Look at all those regiments. 4, 8, 4, 7, 10, 13, 15. Oh, he's thrown out a cloud of skirmishers, as usual. There's his... Okay. French defensive fire. None. Whoop. What am I doing here? Allied fire. None. Allied melee. None. French movement. Okay. Let's check the time again. 53 minutes. Well, I think I'll wait. I like to keep these turns an hour, and it's only 7 minutes away. I'll never finish the French movement in 7 minutes, and I'd rather start it from scratch. Well, let's see where his closest artillery is. He's got none in these units coming up. Here's his artillery back here. Yep, about 3 or 4 batteries. These guys are way far away. Okay. Well, I guess I'll have to set up for some charges. He's coming on me like a roaring train. Land will be pretty much set up. I'll have my artillery in place next turn. So we'll start to fight with our skirmishers. Get these 2 guys over. And then I'll be pretty much set. Okay, so we will save this and take our move tomorrow.